So, the most immediate way of drawing in an isometric, axonometric perspective is directly freehand, as I've done, for instance, in this very picture, in which I directly drew without using rulers at all. It is all freehanded. Of course, this is only possible when you have some previous skills and you have been investing, well, a little bit of time of your life doing this. Not just only these kinds of pictures, but also these others, in which, as you can see, there is a certain detail of architectonics. This has also been done perfectly freehanded, without rulers at all. In this case, although I haven't used rulers neither, in this case, in this specific case, since you see all these details, what I've been using is what it's called an axonometric grid, which is this one here. This grid allows me to, so to say, see through the paper, through the certain transparency of the paper itself. We will be able to see partially, at least partially, the grid that is going to allow me to follow perfectly well those directions. Anyways, the other technique is, of course, using these both, which are the set squares. The 45 and the 60-degree set squares. As you can see here in this video example, in this box I have here, basically the directions that I'm going to use are these ones, which are according to the 3 dimensions of the 3-dimensional space that I'm going to use. So this is going to be the height, that is going to be the width, and finally this is going to be the depth. As you can see in this particular axonometrical perspective, which is called isometric, ISO, because ISO means all the angles between the dimensions, they are all going to be the same, which is 120 degrees. Well, it turns out in our 60-degree set square, we have in this particular corner 60 degrees. That means that we are going to be able to combine both, so that the 60-degree set square is going to allow me to draw very easily all these parallel lines to at least that dimension direction, which is the width. In case I want to draw the verticals, I will just only have to change, as you can see here, the combination of both set squares, and this is going to allow me to draw the vertical lines like that. So here, verticals. Oh, the moment you move it, you just don't have to line it up with a reference that you previously done, and this way you will be able to draw as many parallel lines as you wish. Now, in case I want to draw the edges according to the depth, as you can see, this has been the movement. I will have to turn around the 60-degree set square around one of the, in this case, this side here, which is going to allow me to draw these other edges. So this is, so to say, a mirrored reflection. This is the movement that allows me to draw in both directions, width and depth. Only this is not always possible with the kind of rulers that you tend to use. Some of them have a bulky surface on one of the faces, which really doesn't allow to do this simple job. Therefore, in case you have one of those cheap rulers, I'm going to give you an alternative, which is basically the grid. The grid is going to allow you to draw so easily by just taking a white sheet of paper, putting it above like that, and you are going to find out, even though the camera that I'm using is not as accurate as it could, but anyways, you are going to be able to see that there is a certain transparency of the grid beneath it. In case you are not able to see it, you can use, of course, the window. The only problem of window is that you are not going to be able to use it horizontally. You will need to draw vertically, which can be fixed by precisely fixing the paper to the window with a little bit of tape. Anyways, in case you would like to draw horizontally, the alternative is using this kind of device, which is basically, as you can see, a tablet. There is an application which allows you to use the tablet as what is called a Lightbox or a light desk. By blocking here, as you can see, I will be able to use the surface of my tablet basically as a light box, which is going to allow me to use the grid so easily. Now, as you can see, I will be able, and I'm going to do it free-handed, but anyways very quickly, so you can see the immediate way of using this kind of resources. Here, as you can see, I'm drawing directly with the ball pen a cube by the use of that light box. So easy to do. Now, some of you, of course, are going to argument, what if you do not have a printer? Well, in that specific case, this paper is not going to be possible. So even in that specific case, there is an alternative again, which is the following one. It turns out this app doesn't just only allow you to use it as a white light box, but also you can add images. As you can see, I've directly downloaded my grid, my isometric grid, which is going to be available for you through the use of the link that I'm going to attach in the description of the video. And as you can see, here I have exactly or very close to the grid that I've been using before. Here I'm going to click here on the block icon, and this is going to allow me to use this as a direct grid. And I'm going to draw again here very quickly, so you can perceive, so you can figure out how immediate this technique works. And again, this is going to be more than enough to make you understand how quick this technique can be. So if you are asking yourself, what is the name of the app that he is using? I'm going to tell you in a minute. It is called Tracer Lightbox, and it is available in both in Android and I think also in iPad. Let me show you how this works. You go into Play Store, and these are the words that you would have to insert in the search box. Tracer Lightbox Tracing App. It is free, and I think it's going to do a perfect work for what we are trying to do here.